guys, how you doing? My name is Tees and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be watching Carole and Tuesday episode 16. So yeah, I noticed recently that this show is actually a lot more unpredictable than I at first thought, because like last episode we focused on Desmond, that legendary musician, and they really like pointed out the philosophical aspect of music, like why do people make music and what kind of purpose does music have. It's something we hadn't really touched upon yet, but I thought it was quite like relevant to this whole show overall. And I feel like it's also gonna be related to Carole and Tuesday debut eventually, and I think it will also have eventually a connection to Tal and that side of the story, or even the whole like political area which we're also focusing on, like with Tuesday's mother and her political campaign. But aside from that, I don't really know what kind of direction we'll be taking with this show, so that's something I'm really curious about. So other than that, I don't really have a lot to say, so without further ado, let's right into the episode, so let's go. Alright, I'm ready, so I'm gonna start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, but Carole and Tuesday have gotten a lot more famous. Like, a lot of people are just listening to their debut song on the streets, which is quite amazing. You see that penguin? That's definitely a penguin. Desmond. A natural woman. Wow! Well, for the debut single. Of course, they haven't signed with any agency, so oh yeah. Yeah, just have a more instrumental backup. Yeah. Oh, what a coincidence. Okay, we'll see what they can do. Oh, he's definitely that stalker. Just what he just said is just something so typical of what a stalker would say. Mm. Or maybe it's just too obvious. Like, you would think right away that it would be him. Oh no, maybe it is someone else. If that person knew that IT guy said something like that to Angela. Sensitive topic, maybe. Oh, we're getting some backstory? Oh yeah, it was still not as developed as it is now. When he was still skinny. Oh, that voice, I like it. Oh. Bringing her a flower like a gentleman? Wow. Gus. Oh. Yeah, I can definitely feel it. There's song. Yeah, I really like her voice. mm, well, yeah, like, right. Mars Ball, okay, so that's like the Super Bowl of Mars. Mm. And then they were in totally different worlds. Gus. She doesn't look really healthy though. Yeah, something's not really alright with her. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Oh, that's such a sweet story. Like I knew she already mentioned a couple of times that she really looked up to Flora, but maybe mm, maybe she's having something like a burnout or something. Maybe it became too much for her. You know, you hear that often with like famous artists. So it wouldn't surprise me if the same thing happened to her. Does she know? Oh, drugs, alcohol. Yeah, what I just mentioned. Well, it was still Flora's choice in the end, though, but. Oh. Alright. This is Gus' moment to shine. Oh, the same fountain. Yeah, that's what the music industry also is about, it isn't all about glamour, money, music. You have also these dark sides of music industry as well. Oh, is this the cover? With the backup band? Oh yeah, it already sounds a lot richer with this backup band that they picked up on the street. Oh, but was this the cover? Oh no no okay, so that was like their intro song. And now they're going to the main song, of course. See Roddy there, just enjoying the show, being the number one fanboy. Oh, there they are. Good. And everyone around them is like, wait, is this Flora who's sitting next to me? Oh. 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 Oh my god, I think it was one of my favorite episodes of Caroline Tuesday so far. I don't know, it was a lot more, it felt a lot more closer to heart, I feel like. If you understand what I mean. How should I explain this? It was like music that doesn't feel as distant, like, music that you would hear on like big stages, or music that you would hear on the radio. No, this felt a lot more closer. You know what I mean? And the songs itself that they performed in this episode had a lot more meaning to it. So I think that's also what made this episode so good. Alright, so that was episode 16 of Carole and Tuesday. Like I just said, it was probably one of my favorite episodes so far. I know this episode really focused on like this aspect of what it means to be like a superstar. And like I just said, it isn't all about glamour and luxury and all of that. No, it also has like these dark sides that a lot of famous artists experience, which doesn't really um come to light as often. That's just often being left out of the story. So a lot of people who are aiming to become like really famous artists, they often don't realize that a lot of hardships will be waiting as well whenever they get famous, and some of them like will be able to get through it, but some of them don't, and will end up like Flora, like addicted to alcohol, drugs, being abandoned by the music industry, and eventually forgotten. Even though in Flora's case she was just so legendary that she doesn't get easily forgotten, but you have a lot of artists that do end up that way. So I was really glad that they really touched upon this topic, like especially Carole and Tuesday, now that they started their debut, they're starting to become more and more famous. So eventually, like, the question will be, how far are you willing to go to the top? Because the higher you go, like, the more hardships you'll, face. So I think it was really nice that they really pointed out this aspect of the music industry in this point of the show. I think it's really relevant. It's also something that Carole and Tuesday should consider and really think about seriously. Because like we saw in the flashback of Flora, we saw how at that point where she made the decision to sign with that agency, that really famous agency, which also led to her breakthrough, basically. Like, that was also the moment where she let go of Gus. It was her new step, and I don't think that step was necessarily bad. It was just her decision, and her decision was to go up higher, because she could have also stayed with Gus. That wouldn't be a bad option either. But then it would just go slower, it's just the limits of how much you can do as a big agency or just with an individual. And that's also what we could see in the chart, like Carole and Tuesday ended up somewhere 53rd, which is still really good considering that they haven't signed up with any agency. And then you have Angela, who is at number 1 because she has this whole agency and promotion team backing her up. So just the difference in what they are capable of is just, it's just huge. But those are just the options you should weigh when you go to the top. And Flora made the decision to go up higher by signing with that agency. It was just her big chance to become famous, and I respect that choice, and Gus also respected that. But eventually all the stress was just too much for her. She couldn't take it anymore. So that's really sad. And for a lot of artists who experience that, it's really hard to stand back up again. And for Flora, it won't be easy either. But I think just seeing her, the performance of Carole and Tuesday, really brought a new light into her. I hope it's not something that just gonna change easily. It's not something you can easily recover from, but I'm sure it definitely did something. Especially I really liked that performance. I think that was one of my favorite performances of Carole and Tuesday so far. It might be the backup band, that random backup band. I hope they stay. I honestly hope they stay, because even though we know nothing about them, we don't even know their names, so they probably won't get any big roles or anything. But just having a backup band, it's something different. It gives more richness to their songs, and that's what I really liked. So I just hope they keep a backup band. It just brings more richness into their music. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this band, but if they eventually are able to create a whole band, that would be amazing, So maybe that's something they can consider in the future. But yeah, I just liked their performance overall, and I just liked how Flora also joined as well and also started singing, even though it must be really hard for her. But that whole atmosphere was just really soothing, really chill, and just really pleasant to see and listen to. Another thing I'm really now intrigued by is that situation with Angela. She doesn't really get the spotlight these few episodes. She gets a bit of screen time, but they keep mentioning this stalker, and I was almost completely sure it was that IT guy. But then I was thinking maybe that's just too obvious, he would be the first person we would think of if we would be looking for a stalker. But when she got home and got that message, which said one night is enough, that stalker was definitely referring to the IT guy, because he said to Angela that he would be her knight, So now I'm thinking it's someone different, but I have no idea who. It could be anyone. So even though I'm still a little bit suspicious about that IT guy, I don't know, he's a bit too much of, I'm your biggest fan, I don't want anyone to hurt you. I don't know, I'm just still a bit skeptical about him. I still have to see him more in order to really trust him. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this episode, and I really cannot wait to watch the next one. But that was my reaction to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys see my other reaction videos, feel free to check out my channel. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.